Good morning, friends. We would like to welcome you to the first lower school good news of the school year. We are so excited to be your hosts. This is Teacher Lauren's homeroom class. My name is Parker, and I'm one of the 5th grade hosts. Today is Tuesday, October 18th.
Here's the thought of the day in honor of Hispanic Heritage Month. Here's the quote from Dolores Huerta. Next up is the good news. Here are some highlights from around the school that show our connections, our learning, and how we let our light shine. First up is Teacher Diana's class, featuring Caroline, Samara, Drew, and Charlie T. working on their linoleum prints from art class. Check out the beautiful table. We also have some 3rd graders walking around the campus to clean up the property. Thank you, friends! Now let's listen to our 5th grader Mia, who will be introducing Erica Childs, who you may already seen in the lower school building.
Hi, I'm Mia, and I'm here with Dr. Erica Childs. She has been a math teacher at the upper school for a number of years and just started a new position this summer. We want everyone at the lower school to get to know Dr. Childs, so we're going to ask her a few questions. First, what is your new role at Wilmington Friends?
Well, Mia, I am responsible for making sure that all of us here at Wilmington Friends School feel welcome, safe, and respected. So I work in all 3 divisions with the lower, middle, and upper school. And I also do some work with families. And I should also say I work not just with students, but also with all the adults that work here.
When might students see you? And what kind of things might you do with lower school students?
Yeah. So I'm mainly in the building on Tuesdays, and I walk around the building just to say hello. I go into classrooms, and sometimes I'm doing activities with students in the classrooms. Right now I'm having some teachers invite me to their rooms to do activities with students. And eventually I'll probably be leading my own activities down here.
Thanks. I noticed you are called Dr. Childs. What kind of doctor are you?
Well, as you said, Mia, I used to be a math teacher. And I have a degree that's called a PhD in a field of math called statistics. Have you ever heard of statistics?
No.
No? So statistics is all about looking at patterns in numbers and patterns in data. So I used to do research in genetics and dealing with cancer. So trying to help figure out what causes people to get cancer.
Here are a few more fun questions. When you were a kid, what did you do for fun?
So I was really into music as a kid. That was probably the thing that I did the most in my free time. So I did a lot of singing, a lot of playing instruments, and a lot of listening to music. I also really, really love games, like board games, card games. I was into video games when I was a kid, but when I was a kid, video games were kind of just starting out. So I didn't spend as much time playing video games probably as you kids do.
Okay. Which activity was your favorite? Sports, band, choir, or all 3?
So which one do you think, since I already told you a little bit about myself?
Choir.
So I spent a lot of time in band and choir as a kid. I used to play the clarinet, and I really enjoyed it. But then I stopped playing that when I graduated from high school. But of those 3, definitely choir was my favorite. I was in sports, but I was never very good at it, but I did used to run track.
What was your favorite book?
Well, probably my favorite picture book is probably Where the Wild Things Are. I used to read that a lot when I was a kid. And then chapter books, I always really liked Maniac McGee. Mm-hmm. And I used to read this book called Roll of Thunder, Hear My Cry. I really liked that one too.
What was your favorite class in school?
Let's see, Mia, what do you think?
Music.
Music and math, definitely.
What did you want to be when you grew up?
I think looking back, I always wanted to be a teacher. Like when I was a little kid, I definitely played a lot with my dolls and used to pretend to be a teacher with them. So I kind of always wanted to be a teacher when I grew up.
Thank you, Dr. Childs, for sharing with us. Dr. Childs will often be at the lower school on Tuesday, so feel free to say hi when you see her.
Thank you, friends. See you later.
Thank you, Mia. One Love is a song by Bob Marley's original group, The Wailers. Bob Marley's daughter, Cedella, said, "It's a song of unity. It's a song that unites everyone." She adapted One Love into a story that brings the joyful spirit and unforgettable lyrics to life for a new generation. It's a testament to the amazing things that can happen when we all get together with one love in our hearts.
To be free. One love, like the river runs to the sea. One heart, like the music, just feel the beat. Let's get together and feel alright. One love, when your hand reaches out for me. One heart, when we touch a new world we'll see. One love, one heart. Let's get together and feel alright. One love, one heart. Let's get together and feel alright. Let's get together and feel alright.
During the month of September, lower school learned about the Quaker concept of inner light, the idea that there is that of God in everyone. Throughout the month, we read literature, held class discussions, and reflected during our meeting for worships about ways that we can let our light shine and how we can look for and find the light in everyone. This board showcases samples from every grade level of a light reflection project in which every lower school student participated. What you see are students' responses to queries about their light, such as, "What does your light look like?" and "How can you let your light shine?" Please follow along as our preschool teacher, Teacher Lisa, reads to us the book called Thank You, Umu by Oge Mora.
Friends, my name is Teacher Lisa, and I'm here to read you a story called Thank You, Amu, that is written and illustrated by Oge Mora. On the corner of First Street and Long Street, on the very top floor, Omu was cooking a thick red stew in a big fat pot for a nice evening meal. She seasoned and stirred it and took a small taste. "What a delicious stew," Amu said. "Tonight's dinner will surely be the best I have ever had." With that, Amu put down her spoon and went to read a book before supper. As the thick red stew simmered on the stove, its scrumptious scent wafted out the window and out the door, down the hall, toward the street, and around the block, until knock on the door. Someone was at the door. When Amu opened it, she saw a little boy. "Little boy," Amu exclaimed, "what brings you to my home?" "I was playing with my race car down the hall when I smelled the most delicious smell. The little boy replied, "What is it?" "Thick red stew." Stew. That sure sounds yummy. Amu thought for a moment. She was saving her stew for dinner, but she had made quite a bit. It would not hurt to share. "Would you like some?" The little boy nodded, and so Amu spooned out some thick red stew from the big fat pot for her nice evening meal. "Thank you, Amu," the little boy said, and went on her way. With that, Amu closed the door and went back to her book. As she read, her thick red stew's scrumptious scent wafted out the window and out the door, down the hall, toward the street, and around the block. Knock, knock. Someone was at the door. When Amu opened the door, this time she saw a police officer. "Miss Police Officer?" Amu exclaimed. "What brings you to my home?" "I was on duty down the street when I smelled the most delicious smell," Miss Police Officer replied. "What is it?" "Thick red stew." "Ah, stew," she said, and her mouth watered. "That sounds mighty tasty." Amu thought for a moment. There was still enough stew to share. "Would you like some?" The police officer nodded. Once again, Amu spooned out some thick red stew from the big fat pot for her nice evening meal. "Thank you, Amu," the officer said, and went on her way. And so for the second time, Amu closed the door and went back to her book. Sure enough, as she read, her thick red stew's scrumptious scent wafted out the window, out the door, down the hall, toward the street, and around the block, until, knock, 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 again, someone was at Amu's door. This time, she opened it. She saw a hot dog vendor. "Mr. Hot Dog Vendor," Amu exclaimed, "what brings you to my home?" "I was selling my hot dogs down the block when I smelled the most delicious smell," Mr. Hot Dog Vendor replied. "What is it?" "Thick red stew." "Ooh, stew?" The vendor licked his lips. "That sounds quite delectable." So Amu spooned out some thick red stew from the big fat pot for her nice evening meal. "Thank you, Amu," the hot dog vendor said, and went on his way. Throughout the day, people from all across the neighborhood knocked on Amu's door. She fed a shop owner, a cab driver, a doctor, an actor, a lawyer, a dancer, a baker, an artist, a singer, an athlete, a bus driver, a construction worker. Even the mayor stopped by, and each time they knocked, Amu shared. Soon the sky darkened, the street lights brightened, and it was finally time for dinner. But when Amu opened her big fat pot of thick red stew for her nice evening meal, it was empty. Amu sniffled. "There goes the best dinner I ever had." Sorry and blue, she sat at the table with her empty pot until knock, 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 knock. Who could that be? Amu wondered. When she opened her door, she saw the little boy, the police officer, the hot dog vendor, the shop owner, the cab driver, the doctor, the actor, the lawyer, the dancer, the baker. Why, everyone she fed today was at her door. "I'm sorry, everyone," Amu sighed. "My thick red stew is all gone. I have nothing left to share." The little boy tugged at Amu's sleeve. "Don't worry, Amu. We are not here to ask. We are here to give." The police officer carried in a fresh salad. The mayor entered with a roast chicken. The baker brought a collection of sweet goodies. Even the little boy presented Amu with something special in a shiny red envelope. Everyone who had knocked on Amu's door that day squeezed inside her tiny apartment, and together they ate, danced, and celebrated, while Amu's big fat pot of thick red stew was empty. Her heart was full of happiness and love. That dinner was the best she had ever had.
Thank you, Cece and Teacher Lisa. We are going to watch Mrs. Willie's first grade class from last year walk us through what meeting for worship should look like. Please remember to enter the room silently, pause before speaking after another friend speaks, and use the time to quiet your bodies. You can also spend this time to reflect.
I know what's right for people to be scared, but I also know that they're not alone, because people and their families are watching over them, and God knows that He knows everything that's gonna happen. So I believe that Jesus and God should be the real king and real prince, because they really are, and they are important to my heart and my life. Be nice to others. Others. Be kind to others. Go green. Go green. Good morning, friends. Have a peaceful day.
As we leave this friendly place, love gives light to every face. May the kindness which we learn guide our hearts till we return.
Thank you, Mrs. Willie and friends. We hope you all enjoyed homecoming week, especially the lower school pep rally. It was great that we could all be together in one room. Want to see my favorite part? Hi, I'm Maya, and thank you for watching the Lower School Good News. Bye, friends!
Hi, I'm Maya, and thank you for watching the Lower School Good News. Bye, friends!
Please be sure to check out our new beautiful bulletin board next to Teacher Teacher Dragon. What?
We are going to watch Mrs. Willie's first grade class from last year walk us through what meeting for your face!
What's going on? Around the school that show our learning, our
You cannot use that one.
I know.
Good morning, friends. We would like to welcome you to
Next up is the good news. So, here are some highlights around the school that we show our connections to learning